Welcome to the Tool Hut channel. Today we have a 2014 Nissan NV2500. The shop has replaced the transmission with a unit from the dealer. Stand by as we get this thing programmed. While you got a second, why don't you go ahead and click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you want to be notified when stuff comes out. I welcome any questions or comments you may have down below. Okay, first things first. Any of the equipment that you see used in my videos is available on the website. If it's not there, send me an inquiry off the website, toolhutusa.com. That's TOOLHUT USA.com. My name is Sam.
Hello. Like I said, today we have a 2014 Nissan NV2500. The shop has replaced the transmission with a new unit from the dealer. We're going to get it programmed. For this, we're going to use the Nissan Consult 3 Plus software. We're also using a genuine Nissan VI2 interface. Let's get this thing going. Alright, so the first thing we got to do here is we're going to just go check some codes in the transmission. Just kind of make sure we're communicating. Not really concerned with what the codes are at this point. I just want to see that we're communicating. And we've got some. The next thing we're going to do, I always just clear the codes just to see what comes back, because we know that we're going to cause some codes. Again, it doesn't really matter what they are. This is our identification number that we need for the Nissan website. So now we're going to get to the Nissan Tech Info website. Bear in mind, this is the aftermarket way of doing this. The dealership has access to a different program that they don't have to do it this way, but this is how we have to do it in the aftermarket. And tell it we're from the United States. That's where we are. And the first thing you got to do is you got to log in, and the website's not real straightforward about getting logged in, but you'll see the login when you're ready. The Consult 3 Plus blank programming is where we want to go. There's 4 tabs at the top. Make sure you pick the right one. It's also important when you're typing these, the first 5 numbers here of the part number, that you choose one out of the drop down. If you just type it, it doesn't always pick it right. A lot of times it won't let you continue, so make sure you pick it out of the bottom there. Then we got 75917. So I'm going to type in 791. Keep in mind this is a replacement unit from the dealer, so it is considered blank. Now we notice got a whole bunch of choices here, but if you kind of look at it, you'll see only one of them's for the 14 model year. So we're just going to hit submit. Of course, we have to purchase it. Like I said, the dealership has different access than we do. I did skip the part where I put my credit card information in there, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm sure you can figure it out. Then we have to download the file we just purchased. And you can see that I did quite a few of these. So what I typically do is not necessarily how they want it done, is I just copy all of these files. And then if you open up the PDF, it's got directions of where to put one of the files. I always just put everything in both folders. So you're going to put part of it in the Repro programming folder, and then you're going to put the calibration data in another folder here. So you just have to. So we're going to go to C. We're going to go to the Repro programming folder, and we're just going to paste it in here. And it's going to ask us if we want to overwrite any of the data. Usually, if we're doing something different. So, but it's super important that you do this other stop because it is a blank unit from the dealer. You gotta go to C, Consult 3 Plus. It's right in the PDF. To me, it's very confusing, but it is what it is. System, application, external, authoring, you see a specific configuration, and then the 107 folder. And again, I'm just going to paste everything in here. I'm going to copy and replace the stuff that's already in there. I know that's not the way it says to do it in the document, but that's the way I always do it, and it always works. So now we're going to go back home on the scan tool, and we're going to go to the repro programming section. Got to read all the fine print there and hit confirm that you read all the fine print. Not sure what it says, but read it. I'm sure it's about the basics. That is the correct VIN, and it is a 14. The scanner will look to see how much programming stuff is available. So there's our 17-digit VIN. And of course, we're going to pick the transmission because that's the information we put in the repro programming folder. And we're going to choose the replacement of ECU after ECU replacement. This is where we do our blank stuff. Again, more fine print. More fine print. We'll let you click next until you get to the second page. So, and here it asks us for what we're doing, but you can see that the 14 model year is the one we're doing. It says it's going to take 25 minutes. Don't worry, I speed it up. So you don't have to watch the paint dry for 25 minutes. I don't think it really took that long, but it's pretty close. You have to log in. So we're USA, Canada, aftermarket. You put your username and password from the website in there that you used when you purchased the file. And as soon as it comes back, it's already programming for you. Like I say, I sped this up drastically, so there was no sense in watching the green bar for 25 minutes. So it's just a matter of you put the file in the right place, it's the right information for this transmission control module, and we're just programming it. The Consult 3 Plus R2R software is very similar. You can use the Drew Cardeck Plus 3 for that operation. There's a few issues with the Plus 3 software, but for this vehicle, I think it would be just fine. But I have a Nissan Consult 3 Plus subscription and a VI2, so I do it this way. When I'm doing programming, I like to use the OE tool if I've got it. There is issues with J2534 on almost every manufacturer. And I know there's going to be lots of people that say, I never have any problem. That's fine. When you do programming for a living, you run into the problems. So you get to the J2534 will do 95%, 90 to 95% of everything you'll ever need done. The issue with doing programming like we do is we see the other 5%. 5 or 10%. So we always got to make sure we got the right equipment to get the job done. But then once it's done programming, it's going to come up with a screen here and show you that it was successful. Hit next. It wants the key turned off a couple of times here. Now with the R2R software, the Consult 3 Plus R2R software, it will not see the key cycle from what I've seen. They may have changed that. I believe it's a issue with the J-box. So it wants the key on and off a couple of times there. Now here's the configuration. This is what we put in that 107 folder. So if this page does not show up, you did not put it in the right folder. And you will have an error for configuration not correct or something. Again, it just tells you to turn the key off, turn the key back on, hit next. And the next thing it's going to do is it's going to erase all the codes that we may have caused during the programming. I always go back in and check the codes after it's done programming. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it on the recording when I did it, so you won't see that. But there is no codes left in this vehicle when I'm done. I can promise you. You have to trust me. Hopefully you trust me. So like I say, it's just a matter of erase the codes, and then it's going to tell you to turn the key off and on back on again, and then it's done. It's going to come up with a summary page telling you that the calibration number you started with, the calibration number you ended with, and the date and time, so you can print that screen or take a picture of it for your customer. And there you go. That is one 2014 NV2500 replacement transmission from the dealer programmed. Have a great day.
While you got a second, why don't you go ahead and click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you want to be notified when stuff comes out. I welcome any questions or comments you may have down below.